1, 2, 3. Treaty.
Uki, Denestata, Glenatia, C, Angie.
My name is Alice.
Balak,
Douglas Barkley,
Alex, Haley,
Damola Yusuf,
Brianne,
Ireland, Nina,
Claire Hawks.
Jesse,
Mariella.
Jay,
Kira Jeffrey.
We feel it's our moms and our grandmothers who invented what people know as a teepee.
I wanted to be a part of this field school because I was adopted out during the Millennial Scoop. I didn't have the opportunity to grow up in my culture, and although I'm from Treaty 4 territory in Saskatchewan, given the fact that I do reside on Treaty 7 territory, I wanted to learn more about the culture.
The Blackfoot belief is that the Creator gave these animals power to even make themselves men, to make themselves human.
I was doing a research project in my anthropology for my honors thesis, and my project is on the ethnomedicine of the Blackfoot.
We've always been here. We don't look at it as, oh, well, we learned this from these people or learned that from those people.
Because my culture, my family, and so many other refugees back there were welcomed, so I want to know who welcomed me here too.
To get to finish off one of my very last classes, grounded in Indigenous knowledge and ways of being, is just such a, I think, beautiful way to send off into the field. I think it's kind of my responsibility as a social worker to know the land that I'm working on and the people who I'm working with.
And like if it rains or whatever, you simply just use the smoke flaps. If you'll notice, you could use those to cover your entire lodge so everybody stays dry, right? For the Blackfoot, this is ingenious.
Since I'm autistic, I actually really was looking for connection, and so being here has really brought that connection back for me, and I've been able to find my people here.
I have reading, writing, learning disabilities. I actually have a myriad of different types of disabilities that kept me away from achieving any kind of education or post-secondary education until things like Speechify came out, read and write applications on our colonial digital landscape of education. And I find that this school, this opportunity to come and listen and learn and get hands-on and get like on our knees in the dirt and really feel the landscape whole, and to feel it from not just from our books, right? Because I've done almost finished all of my Indigenous Studies minor, and this is one of the last courses, and I kind of wish that I had this at the beginning, this opportunity.
I'm originally from Siksika, but because of all the 60 scoop, this, that, my mother took us away from the reserve, and so when I heard about this school, I thought I'd come back and try to capture some of my heritage.
I really feel like if I'm going to be here on Treaty 7 territory and ultimately consider this my home, it's my responsibility to learn the ways of Treaty 7 Indigenous people.
So yeah, we'll just drop it in there till you see the water all just going nut bar.
Forget the books. The people that write the books are researchers. But they only come from one point of view. Hear and come to the authenticity. Hear it from the people that you're learning from.
Myself, I'm not an astronomer, but I'm so glad that what I know was passed out to me from elders that have gone on.
You're going in there with your Eurocentric thinking, one way of thinking. Go in there and you listen to the people in there. You don't throw this away. You shelf it and open yourself, all your senses to the new information.
So a lot of the moon, the stars, the sun, the Milky Way, the comets, they all had meanings for our people.
I really love it because we've studied colonial processes for so long as Indigenous people. Now we're starting to say, come out and learn with us.
In traditional fashion, we'll just start with our reflections on the day.
It's self-actualizing for me as a human being who, in school, I didn't learn a lot of this.
It's just palpable, right? You feel it, like the students feel that they're learning in a community. They feel that they're placed. They feel like they belong to a community, and they feel like they're supporting a community. And then it sort of ripples out.
She's always hard to follow. I had a very emotional day today, and I think mine just being here is like really setting for me.
Hopefully this is a step forward in how we think about learning and how we can, as social work and our partners in other parts of the university who are taking steps in this way, can come together and build something that demonstrates that these options are important.
The white people, when they came into the land, they came into our land with other tribes. And this is where the violence starts. Because to the Blackfoot people, these tribes that came onto our lands didn't ask us if they could hunt the buffalo.
So that we become better listeners and more engaging people and able to step into communities respectfully and build those partnerships and those connections.
We're so grateful for the guidance of Elders Hayden and Roy this week. And even when they're not physically with us in Circle, they're with us all the time.
When you leave, you have two ways of knowing. You have two cultures, you could say, when you come out of the teepee into the real world.
To live it, to experience it. Even though we're still living in this modern world, but to me, I think that's what these students really experienced when they went in.
There we go. Yeah.
I think it should be a requirement for every program to get to experience something like this.
This experience has been very eye-opening that as a settler person, I know nothing. Basically, I think Sarah said it earlier, every single day I feel like I get smarter.
Being right here in the presence of the real storytelling and the animate and all the passion and the facts that's coming with it, it's really heart-filling, and it's like, okay, like this is real.
When we went to Treaty 7, the second we got there, I immediately felt like goosebumps because we've talked about it a lot, right? But it was the first time that we were there where it was signed, so that was pretty awesome.
I have felt so connected to the land in a way I didn't think was possible for me. I was like, oh, I'm not Indigenous. Like, I don't have a connection to the land. But learning about Treaty 7 and like, those were my ancestors who were taking the land right after it was signed. Like, I'm connected to this.
I got to become part of the community here. I was welcomed with open arms to learn about the land in which I live and where I study and where I play. And these were stolen lands, they still are. I can help reconcile myself, my own past, being taken away from my family and adopted out. I get that chance to really get hands-on and sit down and listen.
Getting that time to actually sit down and heal. I actually had the time to take a breath and like realize like, wow, like I can actually start my healing journey again.
I feel very fortunate about it just because of the group of people. They've been fantastic. Everybody's very kind, not just like people in our field study, but the people that joined. The people you're surrounded by and the way they carry themselves and act really contribute to how I learn and how I feel in the environment.
And people voluntarily, you know, coming in with the right mindset, with the right kind of heart, coming into this field school, and everyone's here for a reason. And I think that's the most beautiful part of being amongst all these students.
This type of experience where we're here and present is something that's very great for not only us, but for the people that are also sharing the knowledge.
It is so important of getting away from the books and getting away from the PowerPoints to actually get to live in and live with the land for this week. I think that is going to be the biggest learning and the biggest takeaway from my whole degree, of that connection that you get that you just can't get from the books, that you just can't get from a PowerPoint.
Can't learn this way in a textbook.
Every single thing is a highlight, honestly. I'm honored, I'm pleased, I'm so happy and grateful.
Anyone who can take this opportunity, I highly recommend coming to do it because you'll never experience what we've experienced here.
Knowledge is key for healing to happen, and you know, all this knowledge we're receiving, well, you know, these students, they're from different disciplines and different cultures, and a lot of them have, this is the first time hearing of, you know, this genocide that happened here, and hearing their side, hearing their views, you know, gives me, instead of my tainted view of white people, you know, it's nice to be around like-minded people and to hear their empathy and to feel it and, you know, really feel it, you know. Just this whole camp resonates with that healing power.
I would really encourage it for students who haven't had experiences like this, who do reside on Treaty 7 territory, especially going into social work. Being that you will probably work with Indigenous populations, I would really encourage it to gain that experience, because it's not something that I can put into words for myself. It's something that they would have to come and experience for themselves. This is going to be something that I myself am going to remember for my whole life, so I can't emphasize enough to come and experience it for yourself, just to gain that knowledge.